Hello, 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 all of my wonderful friends. Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Morphing Multiverse. Never miss a shot, featuring none other than the amazing, talented. If you were here for Alex's episode, you have no idea what you are looking forward to because they were also featured in Tales of Novum series, a fluffy Goomba. Go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody.
Hey everybody, hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internet. I'm a TTRPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. And tonight, I will be playing Giovanni Irving, the Revolve Silver Ranger.
I love it. I love it.
A little quiet, oh no.
I got you. I got you on my side. We're fixing it. We're fixing it.
Oh.
Alrighty. And I am and always have been your gridmaster, lighthouse keeper, lore writer, beacon onto all beacons, Arc or Arclight Court. And you can find me all over the internet at Arclight Court. But tonight we are diving into Morphin Multiverse, episode 2. Never miss a shot with Giovanni Irving, the Silver Revolve Ranger. And just before we get started, we have a little reminder. The end of last episode, we saw the Red Arcanite Ranger facing off against an entity purely known as the Chimera. A villain from their past, someone who has cursed them, tainted them, inflicted them with darkness in one way or another, had hidden themselves away for a great deal of time, amassing power of some kind in order to change the skies and the rain into spell ink, a magic component used by those who wield the arcane to create spells, to cast their spells, to enact their power onto the world, and as such was attacking the much older, much more battle hardened Red Arcanite Ranger while they were training and teaching 3 new Rangers. Proto Rangers, to be exact. And from what Peter was aware of, they were going to be the next Morphin Masters, each one representing 2 different spectrum colors and not just one. But in the midst of battle, the Chimera seemed to be gaining some kind of upper hand. The ink pooling from their semi-transparent body through the suit of the Red Arcanite Ranger into the helmet when a thunderous sound was heard off in the distance. And that ranger fell. And as that ranger fell, he mustered the last of the spell ink that he himself had access to and used it to gift his ranger essence, his power, to his 3 students, to Tylo, to Amara, and to Ezekiel. And as that moment plays out for our audience and for those watching, the camera pulls deep into that same forest. Our Silver Revolve Ranger, if you'd like to describe what your morphed form looks like, some 300 yards away from this fight.
um, Standing a few football fields away, there is if anyone is familiar with like SPD or Deca Ranger, the newest iteration of them, it's that like bulkier bodied armor form, metallic silver and gunpowder black with a white stripe down the middle separating the two. He's built like a tank, like reminiscent of almost like, I'm gonna use a bunch of references here.
Oh,
Almost
good.
like
Go for it.
like a Halo Spartan kind of deal. Um, Asymmetrical helmet, uh, one of them, and like asymmetrical helmet, and one of the eyes is almost like a targeting reticle, like a bullseye reticle from like let's say Common Rider Arc 1 deal from 01. The armor itself is scorched and scarred in several places that, despite the morphing grid's influence, just don't seem to heal or properly recover. Um, and his morpher itself, the gun that's currently exhaling used gunpowder, is almost like a patched up version of the Zenkaiju's Gertliger,
Mm-hmm.
Gertliner. Um, and he's standing there watching what he's done. And he just says, I can remember the line itself. It was, "We couldn't risk it happening again. We couldn't risk it happening, right?" Gamma, take me back to the ship.
There is a collection of steel and smoke and mercury colored energy that wraps around your form and pulls you from the forest through the sky, past these ink filled rain clouds, past the atmosphere, past the orbit of this planet, onto the Mega Winger. And it's even in this fractionalized second of a second in your helmet, in your HUD, a small ping appears and says refraction point contained. You see a collection of rays of red light, purple light, silver light that were branching away from this specific point all suddenly pull back in to this area and then continue a string of light away from it. A message you're very familiar with, a notification from the Emissary Council that it's been done, it's been saved. You come to a stop in the central teleportation bay of the Mega Winger. The almost gunmetal gray with like these very light blue, very similar to like cold steel, like accents and marks across the floor in this lower level as you find yourself now in a cohesive moment of time in the morphing grid. One where your body doesn't feel like it's being pulled in 9 different directions, like it's trying to anticipate any possible outcome. Here feels safe, and here you feel whole. Still in your morphed form, we then see Alpha 4, Gamma, come walking into the teleportation chamber. The silver disc with glowing blue lines between the two. Alpha 4 Gamma looks similar in only that visor stylized helmet portion of his frame. Still an Alpha Series droid from, I believe the planet's called Eidolon or Idios. But Alpha 4 Gamma is more of a combat ally. He's aware of how multiple weapon systems work. He knows how the morphing grid interacts with different vehicles or different items and things of that nature. Very well versed and knowledged in those interactions. But over the years has found himself less and less on the battlefield and more as an archivist. More and more keeping and monitoring the collection of Morphing Grid tech and items gathered by the Revolve Rangers. He looks to you in the armored form and just holds a hand out. He's waiting for the casing of the red energy.
I think he just like reaches behind his back and this is like a canister, like locked in. He unhitches it, looks at it for a moment. It's a sight he's seen several times. Just how the morphing grid, how the energy interacts with the casing. You can feel the energy, the thrum of it. Almost like that burnt ozone. You can smell it and taste it. And it's a sensation he's never going to get used to as he holds the soul of a ranger almost, basically. And offers it, as he usually does, to Gamma.
Gamma collects the capsule, looks over it. You see one of the lower two digits on the hand kind of like swivel into the forearm. And it looks like the old like label makers. I used to be like that pressed plastic, just raised and pushed out. The very similar fashion, he runs his hand over the top of the canister, red Arcanite Ranger. And then at the bottom of the canister, Peter Hentz marks it, acknowledges it. You seem more troubled this time, Revolve.
Not troubled, not conflicted, just... I thought they would be the one not to do what they did. There's always hope, still hope, that they won't do what they do.
From what we're aware, this ranger had fallen into this darkness previously. It may not have been their fault. But at least we know that these rangers won't afflict others.
And when they say don't afflict others, there's a flash of him just watching those three kids running to Peter. And like affliction's not just negative, it's a positive as well. Took away their mentor, took away so much potential growth with someone leading them. And now I've essentially laid them astray. And they're going to make a lot more mistakes.
Are you saying this out loud?
No, he's saying this is inside his head.
Internal? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he's just thinking about that, like, yes, the future could have been bad, but it also could have been better. But it's not up to me. And he just goes to Gamma. I'm here to make sure the future the council wants, that the morphing grid needs, exists.
We maintain the balance. We maintain the safety. We do what others can't. Gamma kind of like rests the other hand onto the still armored, morphed form of Revolve Silver. Maybe a reminder. Come, let's archive this. And Gamma turns to leave the teleportation bay.
the ranger will take a breath in and out, and then we'll follow. Just the solid footsteps of like heavy armor. Just
The Master Chief leaving the sleeping pod and going to go grab the first weapon.
Exactly.
Following Gamma down the hallways, not out of the ordinary, not something that hasn't been done countless times beforehand, not something that you aren't accustomed to, but that weight of what you had witnessed, what you were aware of, still holding just as much on the shoulders as it is in the chest and in the top of your skull, in the back of your mind. That weight is just pressing. As Gamma moves down the corridor, past a few doors, gets to one of the larger circular vault-like spaces, punches in a code, and we see that vault door just rotate over. The lights inside begin to click on one after the other. And inside we see a collection of so many things. The first, almost like a dedicated memorial in the center, is a Saba with the head broken off of the end of it. A sword of darkness with the buttons and interworkings of the dragon dagger next to that. And a Mighty Morphin green helmet with sharpened points, reds, whites, and blacks mixed with the colors on the helmet. The side visor cracked in, there's scorch marks on the inside of it, but set alongside these other two items. And just underneath it, a victory for the coinless. The walls around the space have other canisters similar to the one you had just handed Gamma. Each one labeled, marked, archived. Reds, blues, greens, pinks, yellows, golds, black. And seeing, at least for others, this would look like a graveyard. This would be where rangers go at the end. But you know that this is the end for those who try to end the rangers. Gamma takes the canister and looks over the wall where all of these red casings are at. He finds a space and sets it in, clicks, and pushes it against the wall. And you see that dull hum of red energy. And the Mega Winger acknowledge. Red Arcanite energy attained. Returning to the morphing grid. And that blossom of red light before it's pulled into the ship. And from inside it feels like a slight lurch. Like something forward and then back. From the outside we see a massive wave of red energy ripple off of the Mega Winger until it becomes white light, rejoins the different spectrums and colors of this universe, of this timeline, of this place, so that the next Red Ranger isn't left without any power, isn't left untethered, isn't left alone. Each one of these, Silva, would have resulted in none of these. Each one of these had the possibility of becoming another Draken. And each one of these was stopped, prevented by rangers like yourself, the other Revolve Rangers. And because of that, each one of these universes continues. Each one finds safety, hope, faith. And he's just pointing at various canisters on the wall, and each time he points at one of them, we see a small, like, holographic window come up with a playthrough of that universe and those Rangers succeeding, beating their great enemy, protecting their world, protecting their people. There is weight. There is discomfort. But, and he points at the most recent edition, we see what looks like maybe a few months from the current time. Tylo, Amara, and Ezekiel, each wielding Morphin Master staffs, bringing new light to their world, protecting the soon-to-be Rangers and the Rangers who had been before them. All because their teacher gave them the last of the red power that he had, instead of being consumed by darkness once again.
Where Gamma sees the hope, and there is hope, and the new life breathed into these universes. The Ranger, again thinking, only sees the hatred, the fear, the sadness, the visceral emotions of those he's either taken down or taken away. And out loud, he looks at the new Morphin Masters as they're growing up and learning to be what they're supposed to be. He just asks Gamma, or I just ask Gamma, do you think if they knew me, knew what I had done, do you think they would hate me? Do you think they would try to kill me? Any of them? All of them?
No. I think there would be anger. At first. I think there would be feelings of violence. But if given the knowledge, if given awareness, they would come to understand. Especially as they would be morphin masters themselves. What if you hadn't done it? And he had fallen. And instead of them becoming what they were destined to be, became something twisted. Something trained by evil.
Guess we'll never know.
We won't need to. I will make sure that the rest of the energy is properly sent out. You should rest before they send us on another mission.
And there's like a apprehensive relaxation of shoulders dropping. Just what's the over under on 11 hours before the next one?
If we stay in this timeline over, if we go back into the stream, it could be 10 minutes. And you see Gamma is now like, as your shoulders have dropped, his have as well. Like, he is matching the emotional response from you in this at these points in time, which is normal for him. He is a battle buddy. He is a combat partner. If you're up, I'm up. If you're down, I'm down. We're gonna be all the same.
Mm-hmm. As much as I think a good nap would be, I think getting back to the grid is the best course of action. Though I don't think a 10-minute nap will do me any good, but it'll be something.
It'll take me about 2 hours this time to ensure everything is dissipated, everything is out. And then once that is done, then I'll move the Mega Winger back into the stream.
Sounds good. Get some shut-eye, I guess. And then, like, as he's turning, he's gonna power down, demorph. And the audience will see a 6 foot tall, 274 pounds, like, almost like kind of linebacker kind of build, African American with a silver bomber jacket, wild hair. I'm talking like Mauga from Overwatch 2, kind of like wild,
Yeah.
with white streaks like here and there from stress and just doing this job for too long, even though it's an endless job, honestly. Gray camo pants with worn combat boots, and around his neck is a collection of different colored dog tags.
Are the for the audience sake, are there any specific names that would stand out as they're looking at, as the dog tags are shown?
They show, because his are the one on top. His shows uh, Giovanni Irving, uh, Revolve Silver. Um, and I wish I did have a nice a reference or meme for the thought object. I'll
Would
think
they
of it
be?
when
Would
let's
they
see.
be
They'll
other
probably
rangers that he's showing like homage to? Like maybe he has made these himself
mm,
as the ones that have stuck to him the most.
I think they might be specific leaders of specific teams that he's respected. That includes like Pink Ranger from oh no, I'm forgetting. In Time or in
From Time Force,
Time Force, yes, Time Force.
Jen Scott.
Jen Scott from Time Force. Uh um who else? Who else? Who else? Who are we pulling out my butt right now?
Let's do it. We got like Doggy Kruger on one of them.
mm,
Got
yes, definitely.
there's definitely a Tommy Oliver on there somewhere, but
Yeah.
whichever rendition there's definitely at least one there
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Uh,
but
there
with
are some there are some that don't even like because I'm gonna pull out some Sentai ones. This is not this like there's ones like Guy, who's another silver ranger from
mhm.
Gokaiger. All right, Gokaiger, yeah. Can't remember his last name. That sucks. And there are some ones that don't exist.
That are
You know,
just in this collection,
collection.
this
Hmm.
bundle.
Yeah.
Giovanni, as you leave the space, as you leave the archived vault, you have about 2 hours before we jump back into the stream. What do you do?
There's a moment where he's getting ready to go to bed to take a nap, and he looks at his bed. His room is very like it's Spartan on purpose because the rest of the ship is this homage to the job. It's oh he's always surrounded by this, as you put it, this graveyard of ranger history. And so on purpose he does not have much of his own um, in his own room. Uh, and as he's like looking at his bed to almost to force himself to go to sleep to get some energy back, he for a split moment almost looks kind of scared of his bed, scared to go into a realm where he has no power instead of all the power of the history around him. Because there's a helplessness there that he does not want to go through again, but he knows he has to. And he reluctantly goes to just lay down, hair foofing over his eyes as it just like consumes his face. Um, and he just lets the world go dark.
As it goes dark, he finds or forces a semblance of sleep. We see Gamma close the vault, move down a hallway, and there are these, every once in a while, something you've seen on the ship, but is either like disconnected or hasn't been used, at least not that you're aware of. These small little red dots. They look like little hanging cameras or little red lights of some kind. They're just all throughout the ship. And as Gamma's walking down the hallway, we hear him. It'd be good to hear you, Decca. It would be good. And just continues stepping until he gets to a series of control panels, looks over it, sees this red ring around the Mega Winger dissipating through the vacuum of space. You see a timer showing elapsed since. It's at about 2 hours, 10 minutes. And Gamma just stays staring at it until it gets to about 3 hours. 3 hours, 30 minutes. And then he hits a larger button on the control panel. And from the perspective of the camera, the ship ceases to be in that point of space, as if it was never there. Nothing disturbed. Even that energy that waked away from it is now a part of the ether, a part of this universe. As this ship could be perceived as not moving, and everything else around it is moving at expletive 10 to the exponent speed of light, or it is moving at this speed and everything else is passing by it. And a beeping starts near one of the dog tags hanging around your neck. Here. Revolve silver. Revolve silver. Like a notification, like a something to get your attention, as it would be, as the holoclip, the communications device used by the Revolve Rangers, is alerting you someone's trying to get in contact with you from the team.
Gotcha. Hearing the monotonous alarm, one that he wishes would have a little bit of pizzazz or something in it, but it is very military and it's kind of repetition. He'll just touch the dog tag as he's his hair is still covering his face, just to let the message or the projection or what have you appear or reveal itself, as he's just like a hairball in bed.
You grab at the tag itself, and for your focal point, it is this hologram shifts right above you, screen, and some kind of person would be speaking through there and they can see you kind of vibe. To anyone else looking at the space, nothing appears over your head. Nothing is projected. This is all visually ingrained. You see Revolve Stealth and Revolve Crimson, both still in their morphed forms. Stealth speaks first and goes, "So how did it go?"
It's done.
Well, at least you got the easy one. We've officially been, and you see air quote fingers, indoctrinated to the demon court of this universe, so we will be diverting all of their dark grid energy away from them, hopefully over the course of the next 24 hours, to ensure that these Rangers succeed in their fight. And you see Crimson in the background is they have what looks like a hollow pad in front of them with their Gert Langer resting on top of it as they're like
Mm-hmm.
typing away
Yes.
at something, trying to
Mm-hmm.
gain access or respond to whatever the case may be. So Gamma said you had a little bit of an issue. You were a little bit more troubled than usual.
I'm fine. And like he'll get up and move the hair from his face, tie it up with like a rubber band that's like on his wrist. I know that the future and destiny of those kids is going to be grand and is grand. It's just seeing them as kids that really stung.
I'm not trying to like poke and prod at you, Gio. I'm just making sure you're still human.
I'm still human. It still does hurt. So
Good. We should be back if Crimson can figure out exactly what it is they're doing. I should have taken your job and you should have came here with him because this is taking forever as you see him like leaning around a corner to say something. And it's as he's leaning around the corner to joke with Revolve Crimson, you see an energy bolt fly past his face. And it's this weird like red star shape that like spirals past. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. We're still morphed in a demon court building of sorts. That probably wasn't a good. We're gonna have to restart this mission. We're definitely gonna have to restart this mission." And Stealth turns and draws, and you see his revolve magnum come out, and then it morph into the Phantom Ranger's Phantom Blaster and starts firing down that hallway and goes, "Yeah, we're gonna have to restart this one. Well, I'll call you when we're not. This sucks." And then just starts walking down a hallway, and we get the first person perspective of the Necrobats from Lightspeed Rescue and a
yeah.
handful of the other star demons from Lightspeed Rescue are now
Jeez.
barreling down a hallway at Revolve Stealth, and we hear Crimson in the background go, "Yeah, no, we're fuck this," and throws something back, and the both of them disperse in that space like they were never there. The camera shows this cornered space in this demon court, and their batlings walking past there, none the wiser of whatever just happened. Whatever didn't just happen, who knows? But you get that flash of a message from them.
Mm-hmm. Just like shaking my head, rubbing my eyes. Like, it's definitely gonna take them more than 24 hours. And here I thought I'd see them before then. It's fine. I can do another solo if I have to do another solo.
It's like the universe is listening. You hear that militant styled alert message from the holotags is replaced. It's almost like a humming, like a tuning fork that's been hit at the very base, where it's a lower resonance but constant humming.
We'll again move to engage with the communicator, the dog tag, and we'll just be like, "It's like you can hear me or something."
And this time, your vision sees these humanoid shapes formed out of the different spectrums of grid energy, the Emissary Council. We have another refraction point. We feel you may be the best equipped for.
I mean, both Stealth and Crimson are kind of disposed right now, so it makes sense that you chose me.
They are using temporal displacement to reattempt the mission in the way that they see it fit. This mission will take you to a point somewhere in the late 90s, early 2000s of your timeline in specific.
Down with a nice throwback.
Yes.
What's the team? What's the target?
That is where it gets slightly complicated. The active team at this time are referred to as the Space Rangers. The energy needed to be gathered comes from a Turbo Ranger, one who was abandoned.
What seems to be the problem with this abandoned ranger? I mean, you said complicated, so for you to say complicated means it's a mess. I'm assuming.
The similar display that you had seen on teleporting back to the Mega Winger when it stated that the refraction point had been fixed. This screen shows a refraction point that severs in 7 different directions. And they all stem from the blue Turbo Ranger. And it happened shortly after a mission for the Space Rangers, where their leader Andros was captured by a monster known as Lionizer.
Mm.
And the Space Rangers, searching for their leader, come back in contact with a previous team member, one that they had left on Earth to go into space to seek out Zordon and find new powers. When they come into contact with the young man known as Justin Stewart, his powers reactivate, but only that one time. Even though he has the turbo vehicle and has full access to it, he has the turbo morpher with full access to it. It will not engage the blue turbo powers for him.
Mm.
And from that point, the 7 other refraction points occur. There's a line that shows him going to work with William Cranston, or Billy, at Cranston Industries, attempt to repower the turbo morpher or retether himself to it. And that leads to an opening in the codes that Billy Cranston created to bring Zordon back, which allows for Robo Rita to come back and take over and attack and steal Rangers. There's another line where Justin decides to create his own pseudo morphing grid, his own external power source, and in doing so creates a team of these pseudo rangers, and the morphing grid tries to give power to them, but because this was a pseudo energy source, it reacted negatively,
Mm-hmm.
killing that whole team and Justin. There's
Right.
another one where, and you see all of these different directions that this moves in when Justin tries to morph again after helping his teammates save Andros.
Mm-hmm.
And they point out that that is the refraction point. The power is there, but the morphing grid, he doesn't need it anymore. He doesn't need
Right.
that power, but he's
Mm-hmm.
still trying to force himself to have that power, and that
Right.
is the refraction point that they're referring to.
Okay. This it's a mess as usual,
More so than the Arcanite.
which is a terrifying sentence just set out plainly. What are the parameters for this mission? Am I to just demotivate them, get rid of them?
All courses of action are enabled and allowed, though you will not have the temporal displacement option that Crimson and Stealth currently have access to. Whatever decision you make in collecting this power must be the line that you take. But it is your choice in how you wish to stop this refracting.
Like he's looking at the different timelines and the different results of the refraction, watching that glass shatter, splinter every direction. And Christian's like, that's cool as fuck. Christian is like, I want to see the Robo Reader timeline again, but that just means Trina gets to die. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Um, don't do that. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to see the whole team explode and get killed. That one sucks. Um, but like, and he's already going through his options. Um,
What are you looking for in those breakaways? What are you looking for in particular?
I'm looking for like the healthiest option for the grid itself. Like what branch, what fate of our dear blue boy, our dear Justin
Um,
creates the healthiest future for the morphing grid itself.
okay. Give me either a culture roll or a morphing grid tech or morphing grid roll using technology.
Cool, I will do that one. Technology, that's a D4.
And if you have a specialize in like morphing grid tech or anything, you can use that.
I'm a soldier, baby. I'm not a nerd.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And that's a D20 plus uh what I have bubbled in, right?
Yeah, plus the D4.
Just the D4. That's a 16.
16, cool. DC was 15. Um,
Woo.
you see there's one refractory point, one refraction point that looks like it is what keeps the morphing grid moving in the correct line. That keeps everything going in the correct direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hitting like a hard, not a hard stop point, but like a speed bump, and it can't get over it.
Mm.
There is a line where Justin Stewart becomes a mentor to a new team of Turbo Rangers that he creates new Turbo Zords for.
Mm.
But when Tommy left the team, he lost who he felt was his true mentor, like he was abandoned.
Right.
If there's a way to get him through that, get him through that thought process, that I was not only was I abandoned by my big brother, but I was abandoned by my whole ranger team, and I was left here. If we can get him past that point, that is the good timeline. That is the positive points of the spectrum.
Gotcha. I think studying the web, this shattered grid, this multiverse, seeing the line, seeing the speed bump, knowing what he can do, what he has to do. And again, getting a flash of the kids running towards Peter, and knowing how much it hurts to see loss. He's like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can smooth out the speed bump. I think, and like he speaks out loud to the spectrums of light. I think he needs proper motivation. He's still useful to the grid. He's motivated, so we can use that motivation to build a better branch for the long run. And I think a good old girl, the Morphing Grid, will appreciate that. Nice, healthy branch instead of just cutting it short.
Yes. We believe the Morphin Mother would appreciate that much more.
Just gotta figure out a method of how to present myself. Huh.
We will be sending the Mega Winger into that timeline. Welcome home, Giovanni.
Welcome home.
That HUD pulls away, and you can see Gamma is standing at the door that leads into your room, and he has like a white and black Adidas tracksuit, and there's like a can or like a bottle of like Pepsi Crystal in like one hand, and he's like, I think this should help. I'm not 100% certain. This is way before my... It just sets them on your bed.
I'll work with these masterful selections you've given me.
Oh. Hold on. He walks back out of your room, and he's only like a few steps away, walks back in, and there is like a pair of Nike Air Mags, but they have like the puff jacket material in like shiny silver the whole way around it.
The ugliest.
There we go. He sets those down next to your bed as well.
Just the ugliest. That fashion back then was just a fucking mess. Yowza. Okay. We'll just look at the puff massacre in front of them. Got to get that sponsorship. Well. Here's hoping that the kid is receptive to other adults telling him it's gonna be all right.
Then maybe don't tell him.
People.
Maybe don't tell him it's gonna be all right. Tell him he's gonna be all right, not that it's going to be all right. Remind him that he isn't the variable that breaks the equation. He isn't the outlier to the answer. He just answers a different problem.
You sure we shouldn't send you out there?
Oh,
Because you're
absolutely
way
not. I
better.
will scare everyone. There's no hiding any of the any like motions over. Similar to your own armor, he has those same like laser burn marks and cuts and gouges to the actual body and housing of his form. The helmet, perfect, immaculate. Nobody ever got a
Mm-hmm.
headshot on him.
Right.
But the rest of his armor and the rest of his body, he's like, yeah, this is a. I'm pretty sure Alien came out maybe a few years prior. There's no way. And I think there's a movie, Terminator, that's doing really good right now.
Doing gangbusters.
That would they would shoot me with zero questions. I'd shoot back, and I think that's the problem.
That might cause another splinter, several splinters, if you do that.
It's the
So
idea of a refraction point centered around gamma showing up in the 90s. It starts in your head of all the ways it could go wrong.
just every single permutation of how wrong it gets, and just going, it's not worth it. That's it's so not worth it. That's a mess that no one needs to clean up. Um, and we'll get changed into the spazzy '90s silver outfit that has been provided. With his holding the Pepsi. Is it clear, right?
The Pepsi Crystal.
Crystal, and like holding it so like if this was a show, if this was had a camera, he's holding it so that the logo is not shown
At all. Nothing.
at all.
He's also like
No
standing
logo.
off to the side so you can't see the Nike swoosh on the jacket or anything.
It's just cut off by the camera. And like something happens to be in front of it. You know. And he just gets ready, and he makes sure that all his gear is ready to be summoned if needed. Shouldn't need it. Fingers crossed to the Morphing Mother. Don't need it. And we'll
Gamma lets
head
you
to
know. He hands you 10 gears for your revolver. Because these are the ones that are all fully prepared, that won't disrupt this timeline. These are all from rangers or entities of this timeline, so it shouldn't be an issue. And your holocom. He holds a hand open for it.
oh go over to where it is, and then walk over, place it in their hand.
When you hand it to him, he folds his fingers over the top of it, and you can hear like fabrication, some kind of additions are being built around it. When he opens his hand, you see, and the audience sees, a very familiar wrist-style communicator
Aha.
in all silver the whole way through. This, so you don't look as crazy as they might assume you to be.
Take it. Put it on the wrist. Secure it. Like wave it around a few times.
The first 2 times it like shakes up and down the arm, and then the third time it's snug, holds.
Mm-hmm.
Get hit, be cool. How I? This is why you're going down there, and I'm not.
I will be hip and be cool as much as I can be hip and be cool.
To Angel Grove.
Angel Grove.
That smoke, gray, mercury, silver light wraps around your body, teleporting you off of the Mega Winger. Inside the bathroom of a juice bar. Ernie's Juice Bar. You can hear people just outside the restroom or putting clothes or backpacks into small lockers as the youth for the youth club side of the juice bar. You hear arcade games going off, people laughing, music playing, somebody yelling about a pink smoothie being thrown somewhere. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But for Giovanni, they're home.
And this isn't the first time I've been in this place. Not in this timeline, but I've been to several different Ernies. It's several different Ernies, but it's always the same bathroom stall.
Yep.
It's always it's always this one.
It's always, and it's the middle one. It's the middle one
Yeah.
that feels like it's smaller than the first one, and the one that's all the way at the far back of the wall. It's always that middle one.
It never feels right to be ported there. It's always a bang into like the wall. It's never a clean entry into this bathroom stall. And he just like readjusts his disguise before he heads out there to look at the glory that is this juice bar, this safe haven of Angel Grove.
And that is where we will take our break. Take about 10-15 minute break, everyone. Do all the human things. Got earphones, headphones, take them off, massage your ears, get a snack, use the restroom, do jumping jacks. I mean, who knows? Whatever's human for you. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Do some hip hop keto.
Hip hop keto. There we go. Get the blood moving. Get ready, because this is about to get nuts. We'll see you all in a little bit.
See ya.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We didn't just spend the last 15 minutes discussing the economical issues of Power Rangers existing in Southern California and how it would impact the government or the surrounding cities and people there
Mm-hmm.
within. I am your Gridmaster Arc or Arc Light
Mm-hmm.
Court. Joining me is our Silver Revolve Ranger, played by a fluffy Goomba. Where we left off right before break, our Silver Revolve Ranger had received a new mission from the Emissary Council showing the refraction points of specifically Justin Stewart, the Blue Turbo Ranger, in regards to him being abandoned by his team and the possibilities and things that could come from it if left unchecked or uninterrupted. From there, Giovanni was able to look into all of the splintering and breaking away portions of this timeline and at least find a way to help Justin progress in a positive manner in order to garner success in the mission he's looking towards, as well as maintaining balance to the morphing grid as a whole. He was given a totally dope, super rad, cool outfit from Gamma as he went back into the late 90s, early 2000s, and appeared in the middle bathroom stall at Ernie's Juice Bar in Angel Grove, California. Now, you've heard the sounds going on outside this same stall. You can see the last time that you were in here, there's still like a slight graze against it. But yeah, what do you do?
After like establishing that I'm here, and then I'm solid, and we'll just we'll like press the button on the communicator, and just go. "Mm." Landed in the same stall again. Got to mark that down. Um, I'm here. I'm safe. I'll start the search immediately, and we'll communicate if aid is needed. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
You hear Gamma's voice through the other side of the communicator. Acknowledged. Mega Winger is on the southernmost hemisphere of the moon currently, as this is an active Zord in this timeline.
Mm.
So, I am disengaging any contact protocols that the Space Rangers might have for it. I think we're early enough that their Silver Ranger doesn't have access to it yet, though.
Well, then, all the more reason to get this over with so that you don't get taken away and I'm stuck here for too long.
Agreed. They should be nearby. And then you hear the communication go silent.
Mm. Will readjust myself one more time. Look at the ridiculous bubbleness of my outfit. Uh, just go. I want to pop myself so bad, and we'll head into the juice bar itself.
As you head into the juice bar, not too dissimilar from the last time you were here or any of the other various versions of it. You walk past a row of personal lockers, and people are there putting things inside them. Some of them are getting ready to go and do some kind of martial arts practice of some kind in the youth club portion of it. There are others who are gathering their things back. Maybe it just finished the gymnastics or dance classes that were held in the youth club and getting ready to head into the juice bar itself. As you turn within, you see a heavier set male with like what looks to be a like battle patch vest on, but none of the patches make any sense whatsoever. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
varying pop bands or like rap groups and then like heavy metal bands that never put out a song or an album or
Mm.
anything. They just have patches that are ready and available, and
Nice.
they're covered in what looks like a pink smoothie of some kind, and they're like
Oh.
wiping it off of their face, and you see a thinner a thinner man walking behind him, a little bit taller, black hair just kind of like skewed in multiple different directions with a bright red beret on as well, but the
Mm-hmm.
flap isn't going the correct direction. It's
All
the
right.
opposite way, and the
Mm-hmm.
patch on the front is upside down.
Nice.
And he's like, "Bulk, I mean, it was an accident. They they came running in from the martial arts thing, and I'm trying to help Ernie. I had the tray. It goes, Skull. You could have done anything else but run right into me, and just keeps wiping. It's like a never-ending pink slime. Essentially, that he's trying to wipe off of his face as
Mm-hmm.
they move past you.
I think as they're moving past, Giovanni will like grab a towel and will just like throw it over their shoulder, and he's like, "That should get the bulk of it." As he's walking by it.
God damn it. You get a story point for that. You're at 3 story points. God damn it. As you turn the corner, uh, you see the juice bar, you see a vast array of people from multiple walks of lives, but everybody seems to be somewhere between like middle school to like junior, seniors, and high school age
Mm-hmm.
ranges. Arcade machines off to the left. You can see a large open like gymnasium floor in the center. Where people have music playing, their tables set up. There's like people are playing chess at one table, another one they've got cards and they're playing some kind of card game. Nondescript pocket animals, and they're like playing cards there. But at the far end of the juice bar, you do see a table there. There are several drinks set at the table, but there's only one person sitting there. And it looks to be a 14, 15-year-old boy. Brown hair cut to like, maybe was cut to like a bowl cut at one point in time, but is now grown past that down to the shoulders. He's wearing like a blue hoodie, black cargo pants. He's got a familiar and similar wristwatch on his left wrist. And it looks like he's just staring at the other drinks on the table and just waiting.
um, Seeing that, there's a moment of like, okay, that's target. That's who I'm supposed to interact with. And again, he's just like looking at this kid and just watching, like looking at the emotion. He doesn't know how long it's been since they left, since they left the planet. And so, with that in mind, he kind of just goes with the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
swims with the crowd until he's like in front of the table.
Once you're in front of the table, give me an alertness roll.
I can do that. That's like one of my best stats. Let me look at
Do you have
that.
a
Oh,
perception?
I do. I was as a specialization. Yes.
Give me the perception with specialization.
Okay, that's a D6. I'll have to do it. That is a. Ooh, that's a. That's a 16. So,
16. Um, from the various timelines, the various universes that you've visited, that you've seen, specifically one of the first missions that you were on in the universe of the Coinless, where the fight against Lord Draken had occurred. He looks like he's spinning a turbomorpher key
mm,
on the table. Just between his finger and the table, he's just spinning it, looking at the drinks, and looking back at it.
mhm.
But you are 100% certain
Yeah,
of exactly what that is.
Look a little young to be driving a car.
Oh, it's to my house key.
That is a fancy looking house key.
Yeah, my dad's a lawyer, so he makes
Mm.
pretty good money, and I do
Right.
like robotics and stuff at the school.
Mm. I know it's not been too long since you had to come up with an excuse, but that was pretty weak. Don't worry, kid. No, he'll like pull down.
Eyes immediately get a little bit wider. Like takes the key and puts it under the table.
Mm-hmm.
So are you like on the new team?
I mean, timeline speaking, yes. It's I'm not really from around here. When do you want to flip the bill here so we can talk to someone maybe a little private? Because I know this era likes its secrecy with its
He,
Power Rangers.
you see him like actively like lean back and start looking around. You see him fumble something in his pockets before he pulls out like four individual dollar bills for 7 smoothies
The economy was the best of this place. Oh,
and
how much these smoothies cost?
puts them down and goes, "Yeah, we can. It'll probably make a lot more sense for you to be driving,
I mean, sure, I can drive.
though." Okay. He stands up, even as aware of these rangers, of this person that you are, knowing that this is a ranger, and he stands like the top of his head is barely at the base of your diaphragm
Mm-hmm.
as he stands up. And he goes, "All right, well, we can Mountain Blaster's out front, so we'll do that. Here's the key." And he like motions towards you, but there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing in his hand.
Right. Well, we'll look at the keyless hand. I almost like just the nature of his powers and who he is. I want him to just like lift his hand up, and the key materializes in his hand, or it's already in his hand.
Ooh, give me that morphing grid tech roll.
Sure. Morphing grid tech. We're gonna roll blue die. We're gonna roll blue d20 because my boy here. God, that is that's a 19 total.
You have access to a vast array of turbo keys.
Mm-hmm.
You almost didn't bring the blue one to your hand. But as such, the blue Mountain Blaster turbo key in your hand.
Yeah, I feel like he does like a card like that card trick thing where like you like like flip your
Mm-hmm.
wrist. Like as he lifts his, he goes and does that and
His hand immediately goes over his pocket and to feel the key in his pocket, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, let's go." And he's like still looking over his shoulder every once in a while as you guys head outside. You do see the beautiful, beautiful deep blue Jeep that is parked out front, overhead lights,
Mm-hmm.
huge front like off-roading lights as well, the massive tires on it, no cover, there's no steering wheel lock, there's none
Yes.
doors unlocked as you get up to it as well.
This thing is a weapon of mass destruction. This goddamn thing.
120%, yes. You know for a fact this thing could level more than half the city block on accident.
On accident.
You do see
and
Justin
like
accidentally walks to the driver's seat first and then
Mm-hmm.
walks all the way around the front to get into the passenger seat.
Yeah. And he'll see that like the entire time, like Justin's been nervous, this guy he just randomly started talking to it seems cool. Like this is like routine. Like this is not the first time he's done this. It's almost like when someone meets the doctor for the first time.
Yep. And the doctor's
and
like, "You're good. You're fine.
You're fine. It's all good. It's take as much time as you need." And like when he goes to like the driver's seat, he just simply like you climb in from the passenger up. Okay, we're going around. Cool. And then they'll just like circle with him to get to the driver's seat, and just enter the car as if he owns the car.
As you get into the driver's seat, the key in the ignition, turn, the car comes to life, and you now see like there's that level of trust is now confirmed. Where there was skepticism beforehand, there's now, okay, they are on the up and up. They are good at least.
Right. I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
This is a Thor's hammer situation. It's all good.
Justin goes, we can head to Ranger Point. We can go to the school. We can't go to my house. I can't.
With the lawyer dad and your super cool house security.
Yeah. My dad really is a lawyer, though. Like, that wasn't... Shut up.
Where do you feel safest?
Well, we can't go there. A Ranger Point would be second best.
If that's what you think, I'm sure.
Just head down Main Street, turn towards the school. There's like a little mountain range right behind it. There's a path that goes up to the top.
Yeah.
You know exactly where it is.
Yeah, I'm driving like I know like the back of my hand. And as they're driving, he's like, I'm Giovanni, by the way.
Justin, but I'm sure you said when and time and not a lot of. There's no canopy on this. You're driving at like normal speed. So there's heavy wind coming over the windshield into his face.
Yeah. Let's just say I'm a ranger both in and out of time.
Okay, that makes the same amount of sense. Not gonna lie to you at all.
Hey, just here. Time travel exists. Multiple universes exist. Morphing Grid is an actual place. There you go.
That's.
I'll let you just get on that.
You see, he's like trying to understand that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You make the drive just past Angel Grove High School to this mountain range that's right behind there. The pathway that goes all the way up. You could see where there used to be like city block off like barricades, like the little wooden ones on the A-frame that would be used to like block off a street or a road that's under construction or being worked on. There's a bunch of them that are set off to the left and to the right. Going up that pathway, you can see this is still maybe every once in a while a crew comes out that's still cleaning up from the destruction of the power chamber on this mountain range.
Yep. We're here. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I think he'll stop the car just like so they're like overlooking people coming in and out of the place.
No, well, there's nobody there. It's just those things being set to the side gives you that they're still sending crews up here to clean it up every once in a while, but not on a continuous basis.
Gotcha. So, well, he'll still stop there, and then just like turn the car off, and just like looking at the recovery period and looking at the building itself. Must have been a hell of a battle.
It was. And we couldn't stop them. Then they took Zordon.
Oh, my experience, they didn't leave you. They're still around. They still exist.
They got new powers. They don't really check in as much anymore, though.
Rangers do tend to do that. The work gets really busy. Communication gets real light. That is a fact that does not change for many, many, many years. Just because they don't talk to you or don't talk to you as often does not mean that they've abandoned you. You know that, right? You're a smart kid. Damn fine ranger, too.
If it was one time, yeah. But this is the second time.
Okay. Then what do you want to do? Just sit down at the juice bar and look at 6 empty drinks for $4?
I want to help. I want to be a ranger. I want to... But I can't.
Just finding the right avenue, right? You can still find ways to help, find ways to evolve past what you've been as a ranger. That still exists.
Any road that gets me to them would be great.
Unfortunately, some roads just don't connect back to the original one. Some roads just go. And loss of friendship is hard. It's one of the worst feelings, honestly. Because they're not gone, but at the same time they are, right?
Yeah. That's why I keep buying the drinks. Like maybe today is the day that they're back on Earth, and they'll be stopping by. Or Tommy comes by.
Above table,
Mm-hmm.
what are the ramifications of showing someone their future? Showing someone the showing someone the grid's pathway for them.
Nothing.
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 Okay.
Because one of these lines would be you showing him that. The possibility
Yes.
of this being the way you
Has happened.
solve the problem is this thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It just depends on
I'm
where that branch is, essentially.
branches. Yeah. I'm not sure what this is gonna do. I never know. The grid is a maze of a woman. And he'll like shift the communicator on his wrist,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll like take some of the power out of it as he like shows the grid in front of him. Shows him not the entire thing because that's overwhelming as hell,
Yeah.
but showing him his team's line, showing him the importance of him in the line.
Okay. Give me. Give me persuasion.
Ooh.
This will be
So happy.
with advantage
Okay, sick.
and with 2 upshifts.
Oh, sick. That's way better than what I had.
Because you're specifically. I'll wait till after the roll and then I'll explain it.
Ooh, love that. So two said 2 shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's. What the fuck? I'm dropping dice. Oh god, I'm so nervous.
It's okay. It's okay.
I want this kid to be fine. That's a 6 on the D6 and an 18 on the 20. So that's
24.
24. 24.
24 with a critical success on the D6.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you have the 2 upshifts and the advantage is think about how many times Giovanni thought about doing exactly this
Mm-hmm.
for all of the other scenarios. And looking back on, well, an adult being shown this level of power, this level of infinite possibility, of unending choice, essentially, could result in an even worse situation because now none of my actions have consequences. None of the things that I do mean anything. I can do whatever I want because there's a version of me who didn't do this, who you support and allowed to do this. So why do I
Mm-hmm.
care? But in the
Right.
moment, in the understanding of not just the sanctity of this specific situation, but the deep and immense innocence and honesty that Justin's showing. That I just want to know that I wasn't left behind. That I wasn't just a spark in the pan. That I wasn't just a flash in the middle of the night and
Mm-hmm.
gone just as fast. I want to know that I meant something to these people and that these people still think of me or still believe in me to achieve or
Mm-hmm.
do, kind of thing. That
Right.
is what is granting you that advantage in the upshift.
Yeah.
There is a second where, as a soldier, body language is the truest answer to questions. Is the truest form of communication. There is that shuddered breath of like someone who was on the verge of tears and then was told it's okay to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't feel that they had to cry anymore. Like that relief of safety.
Right.
As he's looking at the things that you're showing him. So why... I know they didn't abandon me, but why not just check?
You know, grown-ups, we can be a little irresponsible with our responsibility. We can get lost, lose a lot. And like he's showing him like scenes from him growing up with these rangers, with these teens that he's idolized, that he worked with. The family's attached to them. Your story does not end here. I don't know where your story will go. There may be a line here, a path here, that does lead you back to them. I don't know.
Giovanni incoming, fighters coming from the moon. They're heading over Angel Grove right, and then communication breaks. You see several spaceships moving over the top of Angel Grove, flying just above Ranger Point, that you are very familiar with, that are controlled by Astronema, that house her quatrons. You see several of them are maneuvering all over the top of Angel Grove. 4 of them break off of formation and end up just above Ranger Point. All of the barrels pointed down from their ships at the 2 of you in Mountain Blaster. And in that same moment, as all of this occurs, you currently have a wrist communicator of this timeline, as does Justin. The 2 of you here, TJ Johnson, the Blue Space Ranger, call over the wrist communicator. Justin, you have to get out of there. They're coming for the Turbo Zord. They're trying to get me as well. We're trying to find Andros. If we can find Andros, we can stop them. And you can hear gunfire, like weapon fire going off in the background around the Blue Space Ranger. As you hear him say through the communicator, I'm sending you some of my own energy. Morph, keep yourself safe. We're going to be coming for you soon. And then the communication goes away.
We can also be very dramatic. And then immediately, because they're firing at us,
Yeah,
right?
they're now angled down, like, on the horizon, straight ahead of you guys from the cliffside, looking right at you.
All right, buckle up, kid, and ignite the ignition back in and start the car back up, and just get out of the way, because good lord.
As you go to start the car, it does not start.
Oh, oh, you like to do this to me. Get in the seat. Climb over. We'll like start patting him. Like spaghetti. It's always when you have dramatic talks. It's like, turn on the car. Turn on the car.
You see Justin take the key out of his pocket, press the button, it opens, he puts it into the ignition, turns it, and yells shift into turbo. As the blue morphing grid energy now activates, pulling over his body. What was recently a 14, 15-year-old kid now looks like a grown man in the Turbo Ranger uniform in the driver's seat of Mountain Blaster. As the wheels peel out and start pulling backwards, the helmet then turns and looks at you and goes, "Are you gonna morph or what?"
Okay, all right. Don't rush me. And will take out. Well, he'll like hold up his hand, and his morpher will appear, and he will take out a silver gear. He's just like, "All right, Gamma, time to go to work." And he'll load the gun, spin the dial, and then just shoot out because there's no roof. So just shoot the ceiling, shoot into the sky. And as he does so, we transition from the ground to a spaceship that's in with orbit with the moon, because it has to leave the dock and do a little whole thing. And the bolt in which Giovanni shot goes into the central core in the middle of the ship. And as the core finishes lighting up, it shoots back down this hammer of dawn, enormous laser right on top of him. And as it fades, he's fully decked out in the Revolve silver armor.
We hear as the shot rings into space, "Revolve, change." And then as the energy collects over your body, the same voice, "The rebel bullet that can kill you has not been molded yet. Authorize." As then the full armor appears over Giovanni's body. A blast of like silver cloud and fire erupts from the back of Mountain Blaster as we hear that same voice say, "Revolve silver." As the car takes off down the pathway deep into Angel Grove, heading into the uninhabited zone where all of these buildings are in, where it's safe to do battle in Angel Grove in this area. Whipping and pulling through that area, you see several gliders, 4 or 5 gliders, come down and are like moving into a flanking or side-by-side position of Mountain Blaster, where you see the blue Space Ranger, the black Space Ranger, the yellow Space Ranger, and the pink Space Ranger, all standing on these gliders as they move alongside Mountain Blaster. The 4 of them look over. They see you first and are immediately like, "Okay, new Ranger." Then point over at Justin and go, "We're glad you're still down here. We're glad you kept the key and you had Mountain Blaster with you. They just took Red Lightning. They have it on the moon. And we think that Andros was trying to free it when they grabbed him. He's somewhere around here." When from the ground a large shattering happens, this lion-like robot appears. Its mane is like twisted over half of its body, wrapped up in metal, and there's like pointed, jagged pieces that come out of it. A large lion-like head, massive arms off the side with the same clawed, lion-like motif to it. As it breaks through the ground and grabs the front of the blue turbo Zord itself and like holds it in place. It goes, "No, I needed another car from my collection," and raises the car over itself and is getting ready to slam it into the ground. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'm gonna shoot this guy in the face.
Okay. Are you shooting it with the Gertlinger Magnum, or are you going to weapon shift it?
I'm gonna shoot it with the Magnum. The Magnum,
Okay.
since I have it out, just gonna just pull it out and just be like, Because he just lifts up the car. He's just holding it, right?
Yeah, he's got it lifted up, and then is getting ready to slam it down.
Sorry, buddy. This car's not for the junkyard, and he'll just shoot him
Through the windshield?
through the windshield.
Okay.
It's fine. Hey, don't get the windshield fixed. It's fine. It's fine. Don't get the windshield fixed.
It's energy damage. It's gonna go through the glass and not do anything. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Go ahead and roll that attack for me.
Fine.
Go ahead and roll that attack for me. You're trying to beat a 14.
Sure. That's. I've got specialization in power weapons.
There we go.
This would be specialization in power weapon, and that's it's D8 for me. So that's this one. Good old die. This system uses so many. That is. Ooh, that it. Oh, it's so cool. Is it a natural 20? I'll roll again. That was cocked. I got scared there though. That is an 18 to hit.
18 total? Absolutely hits. And
that would be
2 points of energy damage, right?
2 points of energy damage, right? Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Raise the magnum, point it through the windshield at him. This car's not bound for the junkyard. Fire. You see the energy bolt go through the glass, not shattering it or breaking it whatsoever, and connects with the lion face of this creature. Its head rears back while it's holding the car and turns with the car still held over his head. You have the chance for one more attack or one more action.
I do have another attack, and we were going to do that to Tick. I got to look at all of my options for combat because this is what I built him for. So let's see, I don't know what this voice is. We're gonna roll the dice. That's a natural 20, baby. Let's go.
There we go.
That's a natural 20 and a critical on the D6.
Ooh, so doubled. And what would you like to happen? It's like a free story point spend.
Ooh, let's see. I want the car to just land on top of him.
Okay.
Shoot him. Just shoot. Just like he shoots both shoulders to weaken his grip, and then just boom. And then he looks over at Justin. He's just like, punch it.
And Justin does, as the next round of fire comes out of the Gertlinger Magnum. 2 rounds into both of the shoulders as it's holding it. It loses its brace in its legs as the whole front of the car comes into his chest, and then it lays down all 4 wheels on the ground. You see Justin move a hand over the shifter in the center, pulling it all the way back, and the wheels peel and then drags this guy across the asphalt, leaving a massive ditch through the city street that they're on, but is currently driving and dragging this person into the ground. The other Rangers look at you and go, another team, different planet, other...
Just a passing through Power Ranger.
Okay.
Remember that.
Like the Alpha Centurion. Got it. Cool. We'll work with that. Justin, you got to come with us. Can you take care of this? Can you?
I got this.
Okay. You see them bring the boards right alongside Mountain Blaster, and you see Justin jump onto one of the boards. And as he does, he turns and looks at you. And there's a moment, even through the visored helmets of the two of you, where you feel there is a genuine, I get it.
Go tell your story, kid.
Nods, leans over, ducks down on the front of the board as these 4 astrogliders peel off. The creature in front of you is your favorite interpretation of these things are, this is just the monster of the week. No one's gonna remember you. No one's gonna, even if they were to make toys about all of the things and adventures of Power Rangers, you wouldn't even get a Happy Meal one. No, there would be no recollection of you. It yells for Quatrons. It yells for the minions of Astronema. As it pushes up the front of Mountain Blaster and starts to stand, getting on his 2 feet.
As he's trying to stand and get on his 2 feet, just gonna slide back into I'm sliding back into the driver's seat, and I'm just gonna hit reverse, and I'm just gonna pull. It's gonna drive backwards, so he loses his footing again and gets dragged back with me.
Do you want to spend a story point on that to just do it?
Yeah, sure. I got the points.
You went from 4 to 3.
Yeah, and then he drags him, and then he clutches and then drifts, so he flings him into a building.
Okay, that one will be either a power weapon attack, because this is a Zord and is considered a power weapon, or driving.
Ooh, I've got good for both. Would this be might, or would this be targeting for?
This would be targeting.
Cool.
Because you're specifically angling the car and getting that turn on it to hit him.
I know kung fu with cars. Car fu. That's the wrong die. Okay, that's a 15.
15 hits. That hits his evasion. Now, let me see what car damage is real quick, because I haven't had to use that for... I'm going to just roll a d4, and that will be car damage for that's 4 points of damage.
Yeah.
Wheel the car, drop the clutch, throw it into drive, spin the back of the vehicle around, ramming into the side of Leonizer, sending him careening into one of the abandoned warehouse buildings in the abandoned district of Angel Grove, specifically abandoned for Power Rangers combat. This wasn't a big talking point during the break, just in case anybody wanted to know or anything. But as he's launched across into this wall, you see him start to break himself out of the crater that he was in, and you see 2 or 3 of those space fighter jets fly overhead before 4 Quatrons fall and are standing just in front of Leonizer. They're roughly about 30, 45 feet away from you while you're still in the vehicle, but Mountain Blaster, through the helmet, is letting you know that he is being recalled. He's being called back to Justin.
Mm-hmm. Giovanni will get out and just be like, "Go to your boy. I got this."
Burp, burp. Lights flash, and then becomes 3 stories tall, 45 feet wide, does a burnout, and then takes off.
Destroying some other buildings in the process. It's fine. This is an abandoned place, an abandoned street, an abandoned part of the city. It's fine.
But it's now you, 4 Quatrons, and Leonizer.
I have to thank you. I was not sure my motivational pep talk was getting to the kid. Little call to action. Never really hurts a ranger now, does it?
You are not worth it.
I was going to say the same thing about you.
The 4 Quatrons with the crescent blade weapons shake their hands up and down, and then all 4 cut into the air as 4 energy beams are going to come at you. First one is a 16 to... Would you be trying to duck out of the way, or are you going to stand and take it?
I'm going to just step out of the way.
Okay, so these will all be targeting your evasion.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one was a 16.
Misses.
Second one was a natural 20.
That one hits.
Third one is a 12.
That one misses.
And the last one is a 4.
That definitely misses.
So 3 of them miss, 1 of them crits. You'll take 2 points of energy damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's total with the crit. As the 4 of them, like, with those blades in their hands, still, like, raising them up and down, start moving towards you.
And as they, because this is a free action, so this is gonna be funny. As it hits me and like digs into the metal, it just dissipates. As I'm gonna spend a personal power as a free action to heal myself for 2. Per PowerPoint spent. So it's just
That armor that would have been cut, that would have been deeply gouged into, you see the armor reform, but that burning mark of where this gouge would have been, the outline of it, stays there.
yep.
And now it is
Another
on you. What would
reminder.
you like to do?
Another reminder. Let's boogie. Let's draw. Let's do it, baby. Let's go. As I'm going to change. I'm gonna weapon switch. I'm going to use a grid surge point to change the weapon I'm currently holding. As Giovanni pulls out one of the gear coins, and as he pulls it out, the camera would see that like it looks like metals, different kinds of metals slammed together almost, like by some mechanical or technological mean. And on the coin itself, there is the symbol of the team associated with it. And he doesn't look at which coin he pulls out, as he just flicks it in the air. It spins. He opens the chamber to his magnum and lets it fall. And as he fires the gun, it changes shape
Go ahead and roll that D10 for me.
that D10. Where's my D10 at? There's my D10. That is, I got a 3. So that is a.
You got a 3. You got the Rhino Shooter from Wild Force. So as you open fire, releasing the energy of the newly emplaced gear. Let me grab this image real quick. The revolver elongates. Top becomes extremely heavy before the blue iconography of a rhino takes over the top portion. The very back of it, you could see the gear slot. There's still the opportunity to change your weapons at any time, regardless of the form it takes. This almost iodized gold barrel off of the front of it with a massive red flared tip at the end. This, for all intents and purposes, for everyone else involved, this is what if an RPG could be given a pistol grip.
You got the switch on it.
Is the best way to explain the Rhino Shooter from Wild Force.
Honestly, yeah.
And
just gonna pull that trigger as soon as as soon as it's like good and like that'll do. And he just aims it and fires.
It does have the secondary effect for the AoE of a 10-foot by 10-foot.
Sure does.
So you could aim this right in the middle of all 4 of the quatrons and hit all 4 of the quatrons that are advancing.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even mean to pull this. That's an actual roll. As he just sees the reticle, the eye, the asymmetrical part of the helmet, the eye, like kind of like calculates and does its thing, and then locks on and zooms in on the spot that he needs to fire at, and he just lets it. He just pulls down the trigger.
Let's go.
Lets it fly.
Going to make that roll. It will have a downshift 1 for that specialized effect, but you do have an upshift of 1 because you are facing. Essentially, you've fought Quatrons so many times before in so many other universes. You know this enemy.
Yes.
These guys get toys. That guy doesn't.
So it's still a D12 for me. So that's sick. And I do have a special edition in power weapons. So we're just gonna do the thing, gonna get all the dice and roll them all because that's how this system works. I remember I made a tutorial on how to play this game. I do have the coin, but I don't really need the coin. That's a D10. Okay, where's my D10? Where are you, buddy? There you are. Ha ha! So those beautiful dice. Hey, ooh, that's a 19 on the die and a 12 on the D12.
Critical success on the 12, 31 total roll. Describe. I got you. I got you. Lining the rhino shooter up, the reticle, acknowledging the perfect position for the shot. As you pull the trigger on it, for any other person, for any other ranger, for any other wielder, you would assume some kind of rhino-like motif to come out of the end of this weapon. Some energy that looks like a stampeding rhino moving forward, head down, horn up. You see what looks like an armadillo rolled up on itself, fired out of the end, spinning rapidly, over and over and over again. And then from behind it, the rhino, rushing, galloping, stampeding forward, lowers its head down, and with the horn in front of it, careens into this small armadillo energy construct, into the center of it before this explosion goes off. That would deal 8 points of damage, crit on the D12, making it 16 points of damage. Those quatrons are obliterated. There are pieces of space metal sent all over the place, but because we're in an abandoned district with abandoned buildings on an abandoned road, set up specifically for rangers to fight in Angel Grove, nobody else is harmed. Nothing else. Nobody is. Insurance rate is going to go through the roof. But they are all completely destroyed. But not only that, there is a part of that energy that flashes behind them, almost like a sabot round or an armor piercing round against a tank. There is just heated space metal flung behind, like a buckshot or a bird shot.
Oof. Ow.
That fires back into the lionizer behind them. He'll take a point of damage, but the important part is it is impeding his vision. He is currently blinded.
Ain't that a bitch?
That's why they don't make toys about him. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn before he takes his?
I mean, that was my first attack. If we're doing turns and attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, then that was my first attack.
Let's go.
Then I'm gonna. I'm not gonna use the rocket launcher on him. That seems.
Then they will make a toy out of him.
And I'll spend another grid search point to change the weapon again.
Okay.
And roll to see what I get to give this guy just the chance to. That is a 10.
Similar motif, but only because it's from the same team. Mm-hmm. As we see the rhino shooter elongate, the handle itself, the pistol grip handle itself, straightening out in your hand, becoming the lunar Q of the Silver Ranger of the Wild Force team in your hand. Do you want it in the melee form, or do you want it in the laser form?
For right now, I'll do. Let me look at those stats real quick so we can see. No, for thematic sake, we're gonna make it melee.
We're gonna make it melee.
We're gonna make it melee for thematic sake.
Hell yeah! So it'll be one-handed.
As he holds it, he goes, "This seems thematically appropriate."
It is one-handed, and as a free action or part of the attack, you can extend its reach by 5 more feet, so you can hit somebody 10 feet away from you with it, and deals 2 points of blunt damage or bludgeoning damage.
And so it elongates, he like swings it around. He's like, this feels right, and he's just gonna he's gonna run towards them and then just like rapier spear.
Yeah, let's go. Go ahead, roll that attack for me.
It just extends and attacks him in the chest. Is he, because he's blinded? Do I have advantage or any?
You do have advantage on this. You do have edge on this. Advantage is Dungeons and Dragons terminology.
Of course. Edge. Yes, don't forget. Oh, that's real good. That's another natural 20, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 and a 20 for that die. the Tommy die rolled a 1. I can't believe it.
Oh.
And the Zach die on Black History Month rolled a 20. That's what I'm talking about.
That true balance to the world. True balance to the world.
True balance.
So that'd be 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
And you know what? I'll even with some personal power, because I've got that. Because we're gonna pump some personal power into this, and I'm gonna look at all my cool abilities, because I built this build specifically because I thought I was gonna have to fight another ranger. So I'm going to let me look at my things real quick. That's not that one. It is power adaptation. I'm going to give myself another attack.
Let's go. Go for it.
And but also I'm gonna pump this with personal power, so he just gets overwhelmed. He just gets stuck to death.
Let's go. Go ahead and roll that second attack for me.
Oh, that's a 18 to hit.
18 to hit. Attack. That does hit as well. So all in all, that'll be another 6 points of damage to an enemy who had 3 hit points left.
Mm-hmm.
So the first rush forward with the lunar Q, you could see he could hear you coming and tries to brace himself, cover his face, protect himself, and you stop 4 feet away from him before you engage the extension on the lunar Q, causing the additional 5 feet of attack to kick out of the Q, punching into the chest of this enemy. And as he doubles over for a second, arms still crossed over in front of him, spinning the Q around, bring it overhead down into the main that had all of that wicked armor looking pieces to it. But it's I don't know if you have this experience. If you take a sheet of aluminum foil and you take a pencil and you just push down from the top of the sheet and it just starts folding in around the pencil, that's what happens with the lunar Q as you come down over the top into Linux. You then hear the voice of Gamma. Refraction point contained. Mission accomplished. As this lion creature, the robotic parts of it are still breaking and pulling in on itself before it bursts away. Not damaging anything because we're in an abandoned part of the city with abandoned buildings on an abandoned street. For rangers to fight in safely in Angel Grove.
Specifics. You have to be very clear about that for legal reasons.
for insurance reasons.
Insurance reasons on several departments. You have to be very, very, very clear.
Gamma says, are you ready for teleport?
And we'll pull the Q out of the ground, and as he spins it in his hand, it reforms back into the Magnum, and he places it back into the holster, looking off in the horizon where the other rangers left to go fight evil as rangers do. Proud that he was able to not have to waste a shot. He's the first time he's excited to have missed a shot. And he just goes, "Let's get out of here."
That wrap of steel and mercury, smoke, colored energy around your body pulls you to the teleportation deck of the Mega Winger. Waiting for you there is Alpha 4 Gamma. There is no face to get facial responses or things of that nature. But you can tell some part of his coding is smiling.
Is that your smile? No.
I'm trying.
You smiling at? I gotta maybe tilt the head differently. I don't know.
He like drops the head down a little bit.
That's too far. That's a little far. Just gonna like if the camera cuts, just like him like fixing the angle,
readjusting the angles on the visor,
readjusting things to like see if he can get a smile on this robot with no face.
Gamma looks to your side, sees no container, sees no blue energy, sees no shell. Just kind of nods. Says, refraction point contained. But we are bringing something back with us.
What would you have me bring back?
Acknowledge. Revolve Silver. Giovanni Irving. I am Deca, your onboard AI. Bringing back a friend. You see the same little hanging red lights that had never illuminated, never shown any amount of energy. It's glowing off in the corner.
Welcome aboard.
Setting coordinates for the stream. Also, onboarding Revolve Stealth, Revolve Crimson.
Oh.
So the ship peels away from the moon, re-entering the morphing stream. Crimson and Stealth appear on ship. More affectionately, Shelby and Cameron. They look tired as all hell. Like they've had the shit beat out of them 9 different times, but also not at all because they kept resetting everything to keep retrying that same mission. And it's that feeling of being whole. No branching timelines from this. No questioning possibility here. And as you are enjoying this time together, the 3 of you simultaneously receive a mission. A fraction of solarite, a piece of the beacon, crystal from the beginning of time that created the morphing grid, has been found in a universe that shouldn't exist. A piece of the crystal that never should have been broken. In a timeline that has just started.
Let's get geared up. Got a job to do.
We don't even have any information. It's a new universe. There's not even Ranger team there. This is gonna be so fun. And then credits roll. As that has been episode 2 of Morphing Multiverse. Never miss a shot. Featuring our Silver Revolve Ranger, a Fluffy Goomba. Thank you so much for being here. You would tell people where they could find you on the internet, what projects you got going on, anything like that?
Yes, I can do that for you. Hi, everybody. Hey, what's up? My name is Christian, a.k.a. Fluffy Goomba. I'm a TTRPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. I have been Giovanni Irving, the Revolve Silver Ranger, uh, who missed his shot this time. Who missed, and he's very happy that he did. You can find me all over the internet as a Fluffy Goomba. And right now, in like 2 days, I have a project that I will be talking about on social media where I'm going to be on Party of One. My episode of Party of One is out or coming out on the 12th is of Clever Girl. It's based on Jurassic Park, where the host and I played the hunter and the raptor respectively, and we're trying to kill each other. And it uses Jenga. It's fun.
It uses Dread?
Yeah, it's like a Dread kind of system.
Oh, that's... Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
It's very cool.
When this episode goes up, if you're watching here on YouTube, you can also find all of Fluffy Goomba's social media, any of the projects that they're working on, all that stuff down in the description. Their link tree will be there. Click on it. Give them a follow on everything, on everywhere. Do all the fun stuff. Engage everything. Yeah. I have been... Go for it.
Check out my tutorial on how to play this game, on how to make a character. They both exist. They're both on my channel. They're one of the highest videos on my channel. You can check out how to play this game so you can make your own ranger and find a group to play with.
And I have been and will always be your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Writer, Beacon onto all beacons, Arc or Arc-like Court. You can find me all over the internet at Arc-like Court, and I can't wait for you guys to see episode 3, untitled currently, but it'll be titled when it goes up, featuring Crit Bard for their first time playing the system and joining me here in the Morphing Multiverse. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your space. I appreciate you, and we will see you all next time here on Morphing Multiverse. Have a good one.
Bye.